What is up, everybody? Joe Evers, fence expert, joined by
Dan Wheeler,
Craig Eubanks.
Coming to you live for the final time from Indianapolis, FenceTech 2026. Guys, what a show.
Holy cow. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's
I'm at a loss for words, energy. This has been real this week. We always come in prepared knowing it's going to be a grind, but man, this is just, it went through like a blur, and it's just been action-packed from the start.
So I'll tell you what, so I've been coming to these since 2017, and every year it's like, how does this get better? And then every year you have a show like this where you're like, well, I think this is it. Like, I don't know, like, is there, where else do you go? How far up do you go from here?
Or where can you go?
Well, yeah, exactly. What do you do? And then you start hearing little whispers about the next year, and you're like, oh, well, okay, that's how. So what a week.
I will say, Indianapolis, we did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
We welcomed everyone in, and obviously it snowed before everyone got here, and then it held off while we were here. It was a little nippy at times, but mostly everything was walking inside. So I thought it was great and heard great reviews.
Yeah. What wasn't, accessible via the walkway was close. I mean, it seems like everything was within a couple blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Whether dinner or entertainment, whatever.
Yeah, it was really nice. And most of that during normal business hours, you have to walk outside. You just walk the hall of the convention center.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. There's little secrets of it.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. Yeah, great town. I mean, it was great getting in. I anticipate great getting out, and we're holding or crossing our fingers here. But yeah, what a show!
Yeah, I love
what
it.
a show. We're here almost a week, and it's been nonstop action packed. I said we're going to blink, and next thing you know, we're going to be on a plane, and we're just about there.
Do we get numbers, Joe? Did they release them?
So I don't know.
What's your gut tell you?
They're released, but one of the whispers I heard was 6,000.
Ayo. Which
makes sense because the number, one of the firm numbers I heard earlier was 5,500 when they were talking about, I think, day one as far as registrations go. So that makes sense. About 500 more people just decided to drive in and show up. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yeah, 6,000. I mean, that, again, how crazy.
Impressive.
I do want to say that's a top 2 of all-time attendance, number 1 being Nashville.
Yeah, yeah. So I did hear door numbers for, let's see, let me think about, today's Friday. So Wednesday and Thursday. So day one, now keep in mind this is for the afternoon only. So it opened at 12:30. I think opening ceremony was at noon. Doors opened at 12:30 and it closed at 5 or 6. 3,000 people, just name badges through the door. Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, the first full day. Man, I tell you what, my brain shuts down.
I know, it's a week.
3,300. So, and then today, I mean, look around, guys. There's literally people sitting in these booths having conversations right now, and we're 30 minutes away from the close of this show.
Yeah, I like it. They really did it well. I didn't get to walk the floor much, but I did several times quickly. Yeah, and I just don't see the fluff that's added. Right. That sometimes there's no just fillers. That's what's nice. I like it.
I will say I walked the floor quite a bit, and wall to wall, even the booths all the way over here in like 144. Yeah, I talked to them and asked them. They said they had people there the entire time.
Nice.
And I mean, and that's all the way to the other side. I don't remember what numbers those go to, but
I was talking to the guys over in Aruval, which are kind of towards that back corner. They had a great show. Talking to people back in the tools, trucks, and trailers behind us. Yeah, sounds like they've had a great show as well. So I mean, again, so we said this about the education where there's nobody that came out and was just like, meh, it's all right. Same story goes for the vendors. Like, I haven't had any that are like, yeah, it was okay. I mean,
I just I talked a lot to the ag guys for whatever reason. I got kind of roped into that. Love those guys, and man, they had the strongest showing, I think.
Nice.
Yet you've been going to a lot more than me, Joe.
No, in terms of just showing up, 100%. Absolutely. We talked about this last night and the night before, just that. The agricultural industry has absolutely showed up. Agricultural portion of the industry has absolutely shown up. I'm here for it. Like, and Dan, I'll say this live, what I said, Ted, to you personally, I think you've got a large role in that. So I think you deserve a lot of the, now there's a lot of legwork getting put in by a lot of guys. And so I don't want to minimize any of that. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you congratulations on the portion that the role that you've played in that, about just kind of connecting dots and bringing awareness to it.
It's scary because you're pushing guys to get here to better themselves, and you're pushing vendors to be here for the guys.
Yeah.
So like, do you put the cart before the horse or the horse before the cart? So it's really a risk it. And I'm not,
of course.
That's out of my nature. And we did it this year. And I just interviewed Beckhart Wire, a great supporter.
Yeah.
You know, along with the Keystone, Stockade, American Timbers. I don't want to start naming them. OK Brand Fence Products. You know, you can go on and on. Log Cabin Pro drivers.
Yes.
Montana drivers. Right. It just. When has the last time have you named off that many vendors? Ag specific.
Right.
And then we had Ornamental Ag Roundtable, which is a special interest group now on top of that.
Yep.
At one time, Joe, we had 11, or the other day, that I didn't count today, 11 ag companies from 19 years old
That's so nice.
to one of the biggest ones in the country standing over here.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Can I give the 19-year-old a shout out real quick? Mm-hmm. Because so we went to dinner last night, and the 19-year-old Preston secretly paid for dinner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No one knew or any. We thought it was the Randy Marion people. Then we thought maybe Dan Wheeler did with all his podcast money.
With Joe's
and
checkbook,
And then we were like, who did? And we're literally going around and finding the waitress said, it was the young kid at your own table.
Really?
And we were like, what?
You know, and he was drugged
Yeah.
there by Justin Airy. He's like, you're
Really?
going to get in the truck and coming with me. And
It's a very Justin thing.
He had a room for him.
Yeah.
And now look at what he was exposed. So Justin Airy's a big one. Ryan Sloop, Matt Shaver. Those three really push it hard. Mm-hmm. So shout out to them.
Yeah, like I said, I understand it's a group effort, and I think everyone should be commended, right? Mm-hmm. So I love to see members of the Fence fam all come together, whether it's extended family or not. Like we're all in the same industry, right? No matter which segment of the industry we serve. So I'm glad to see them all come together. And like I said, I just wanted to give you the acknowledgement for the role you played in that of connecting those dots for sure.
Yeah. I want to say, I think another huge thing too, because we were talking about next year's show. I forget do we know the number of the amount of vendors that have already went over to reserve their booths?
So 75% of the vendors that are here for this show have already pre-registered for next year.
Now let's think about that. AFA is not going out and like promising them anything, or they're not, trying to approach them. They're coming here and saying, okay, this show has been so big, like we want to be a part of this.
I think that speaks to value.
Yes.
Right? That they obviously felt so much value here that they couldn't wait for the opportunity to head over. It's absolutely unreal. That and a lot of the vendors that I spoke to, actually, some of us were together when we spoke to them and said, hey, this year we were only able to get this size. We really wanted more. So when our time slot comes, we're going to go over there and see if we can't get the bigger booth that we wanted. Yeah. Now, the show floor, I think all we're supposed to say is it's going to be bigger. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a heck of a show. This show got sold out twice. They sold out the main floor that we're sitting on. They opened up the show floor behind us, sold that dude out. So to think 75% of this room is already spoken for next year, and they haven't done any outreach.
And plans for growth if it happens. Yeah. That's what's exciting.
So there are some exciting things that have already been announced. So next year there's a greater emphasis in kind of the outdoor space, the outdoor living space.
Yes.
Several of the vendors I've talked to are incredibly excited about that. Mm-hmm. A lot of the installers here should be really excited about that. So it comes to mind the Robert Whitakers out there that have really, really started carving out additional space in that backyard niche. Said, hey, you already know, like, and trust us for doing your fence. We'd also, if you've thought about doing an outdoor kitchen, we'd love to talk to you, a patio, gazebo, whatever it is. We've got a solution for you. We'd love to talk to you about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That conversation is incredibly easy to have. And now I love that the AFA has recognized that direction, that the industry's already headed that direction. They're allowing for it, and they're opening up that area. I think that's, we were talking about areas for growth, right? Tool trucks and trailers, I still stand by that. Mm-hmm. The outdoor living, I could see that being a very big driver too.
Yes. The next big thing is tools, trucks, and trailers. I think that buzz is there for it. I think there's a need for it. Justin Airy spoke about it in the special interest group at the Ornamental Ag Roundtable. It's everything from drill bits to the best blades to grinder against grinder, welders, Lincoln versus Miller, right? It's all side by sides. We use side by sides. Ag guys use side by. So yeah, it's that's where it's going to grow.
Well, we talked about this the other day, just the buying power that this industry has, not only in this room, but just the industry as a whole. If we're talking about hand tools, if we're talking about, small to medium to large size equipment, I mean, you've got everything here. I mean, we've got trucks, we've got, the Isuzu over there.
Yes.
Now,
yep.
He had the keys in his pocket.
I bet.
He said all I had to do was just sign a few things, and then he would let me drive that thing home.
Or what about these two behind us?
Right. Yeah, the Ford and the Chevy back there.
Yeah.
A little disappointed, I'm not going to lie, that they didn't have a real work truck up there. I mean, you would expect to see in a room like this full of professionals, you'd expect to see a Ram.
Well,
but
we want professional grade trucks. That's why the Chevy's here. So.
Okay. Sure.
Actually, that's the reasoning. So he kind of told me in secrecy. I'm letting it out. I'm sorry.
He actually said the reason why he didn't bring a Ram because they don't bring their high dollar stuff here.
Yeah, that makes sense. It would make the Ford and Chevy look just look bad. Joining the show,
hey yo,
Michael Reed. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. Yeah. We were just so we've been talking this as the show wrap up. We were just kind of bragging on you and the team for putting on another great FenceTech. I've been coming to these since 2017, and it seems like every year gets better, and every year we say, I have no idea where you go from here. Like, what's up from this? And then the next year shows up, and it's a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what we want to do. We want to raise people's expectations and then exceed them, and then raise people's expectations again and then exceed it. So there is that element of what's going to come next for folks.
Sure. We had just touched on the outdoor living space.
Yep.
About how that's an incredible growth opportunity for the industry as a whole, and the AFA has done a great job at recognizing that early.
Yep.
And making space available for that. A lot of the vendors here are very excited. A lot of the contractors here are very excited because they're starting to get into that. The Robert Whitakers of the world, that name comes to my mind, but there's a lot of residential contractors out there that have already seen that as a potential growth model. And so to incorporate that into FenceTech next year, I think is an incredible idea.
So I see us growing along kind of three parallel paths. That first one happens to be that outdoor living space. So those folks who are very active in the residential market, looking at expanding beyond just the fence in the backyard so that they can talk about, and we've seen lots of people do it. They start hardscaping, they start landscaping, they start doing some outdoor kitchens, something that they can do in their market that will set their business apart. And if that's your growth pattern, great. If your growth pattern happens to be on access control and some of these more technical things, then that's the vendors that we want here. That's the education we want to provide. And then in that third realm is, that, I might have already talked about it, but that ag fence area.
John Michael Ranny, please come to the FenceTech AFA booth on the FenceTech show floor to pick up a lost item. John Michael Ranny, please come to the AFA booth.
John, if you're watching, AFA booth.
I'm sure he is.
So those three parallel paths, that idea of how do we extend beyond the fence into that backyard space?
Yep.
More profit, more projects with more profit margin. Then how do we extend in that commercial space into that high security area? Mm-hmm. And then where there's just so much passion and so much interest in fencers in general, every time that we do ag fence or kind of these solar fence projects that are ag oriented, there's just a ton of people who want to learn something new. And those are the three areas that we see growth opportunity in.
And I think everyone is really excited. So, I mean, your guys' vision, I think, aligns really well with where the market sees it going as well, which is nice to see. And then you've got the area like what's behind us, the tools, trucks, and trailers, that kind of overlaps all of those, right? So you've got equipment that all of these contractors are using. So I've been as we're talking all that, I've been kind of keeping an eye behind us. It seems like there's been a really good crowd back there throughout the week. I think, again, another great idea that's panned out very well.
Mm-hmm. So I think that you touched on, as I walked in, I think you guys touched on something that's really important. It's that balance between seeing innovation on the floor and getting educated on what's happening in your business, both on the technical side and on the business side.
Yep.
And then that third piece that is the all-important piece, which is that networking piece.
Well, that's the thing, is this is a great place to get all three, right? That you can get, so the networking, so the week's kind of kicked off with networking. I think everyone had a great time with that. Then we rolled straight into education. I mean, shout out Nick Reich for just really nailing the education aspect of this. 70+ educational seminars, not counting Monday. So there's a plus on there because had some extra courses on Monday. Yeah. I tell you what, really knocked it out of the park with that. Rolled straight into the show floor, which has been full. I mean, guys, we're 20 minutes away from the doors closing on this thing, and there's still people walking into booths having conversations.
Yeah, on my way over here, there were still people in full conversation with potential customers.
I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
I really do, about the value. And we spoke or touched on the fact that 75% of the vendors that are here have spoken for spaces for next year. Again, I think that speaks to value, that while they're here, they so actively believe in the value and they want to make sure they reserve a spot for next year that they've already committed to it. I think that's huge.
And it'll be a lot different weather next year.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at shorts and flip-flops.
Sure. We're going to cross our fingers for no more like Arctic hurricanes or anything.
Arctic hurricanes. There may be some hurricanes involved, but they'll be at the spring training ballparks and stuff like that.
There you go. There you go. No, I tell you what, Phoenix is going to be a great spot. So I'm trying to remember, was Phoenix 2018 maybe? Does that ring a bell? It was in that 2018, 2019 maybe. The last time I was there, incredible show, great venue. Yeah. So these venues, these convention centers are really figuring it out in that everything's right there, right? So we talked about that earlier, that the great thing about Indy is if it wasn't connected, you could still get, I mean, everything's within a couple blocks of what you wanted to see.
Well, Craig promised that, and he delivered.
I did. Yeah. I did.
You got nervous, didn't you, Craig?
I was super nervous all week. I'm not going to lie. You would think that I planned this entire show by myself, how nervous I was. Because my hometown, I was like, oh, I want everyone to have a great time, great experience. And I think, honestly, it's been great.
Yes.
Just seeing everybody and the different vendors and stuff, and everyone seems to have a great time.
Well, I will just say to all three of you, I'll start with Craig and just say thanks, Craig, for playing host to your city. I think y'all did a great job, and Dan and Joe, we've gone now on, this is our third year in kind of partnership with y'all, and I just want to say thanks to all three of you, because it's been a great partnership, and it's grown and changed each year. Yeah. And I look forward to seeing what happens over this next year in terms of what we do together. I think between you and getting feedback from your audience and what they'd like to see, this is y'all are a great touch point with the industry, so we know how to make tweaks to make this best for participants.
Mm-hmm. I think you're in the right direction.
Well, thanks.
I not just the right direction. I think they went would you say a milestone or a huge step in the right direction?
It's
Absolutely.
setting those high expectations and then exceeding them.
Yes.
Well, we had that conversation, I believe, during the opening show, where we were talking about how the AFA really has done a great job at listening to the industry and to the market, and not only answering and delivering on those requests, but taking it a step further to say, not only are we going to recognize this, we're also going to set up, if we're talking about special interest groups, not only are we going to recognize you, we're going to give you a whole space for your community to build that out within our organization. Yep. I mean, so the special interest group meetings this morning went incredibly well. Yeah. I think everyone had a great time with that. We could give examples, Michael, for the next half hour of ways that the association has done an incredible job at listening, and then not only, acknowledging, but setting into motion, active ways of answering and exceeding those requests.
Did you all? This might be a nice way for me to kind of put an exclamation point in that. But did you all talk about the new mission statement for AFA?
We haven't. So
why don't I use that as this is an opportunity to talk about that, and then that's where I'll leave you guys with my sincere appreciation for you and your audiences. And then that whole idea of listening and getting feedback from members. So AFA's new mission statement is AFA unites the industry to do three things. First is develop community, develop leaders, and inspire growth. Create community, develop leaders, inspire growth. Yeah. And those three things kind of encapsulate why people come to AFA.
Yeah,
it's about having that community, having that Fence family that you all help to promote and bring together in each of your own unique ways, It's that whole idea of developing leaders, and we don't just keep our leaders to ourselves. Our leaders come to AFA, and then they go back into their communities at home, willing to create interest, and then that last piece of inspiring growth. It's not just business growth; it's about your growth inside as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think you guys have done a great job at that. You know, you just changed the mission statement, and I think this FenceTech did a great job at laying the groundwork for that.
Yeah.
Right. Whether, I mean, not to put it too fine a point on it, but Leadership Academy kicked off on Monday morning.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. With, let me tell you, great results.
Yeah. It was
so,
incredible.
Guys, you can look forward to seeing content on the Leadership Academy. Sarah did a great job of covering it. We're going to have a recap with her, and then also with Robert and Sean at a later date. So stay tuned for that. But we started it off with Leadership Academy that went incredibly well. Yeah. So, we talk a lot about, leading up to this show about this is the room to be in for a myriad of reasons, whether it is networking, whether it is personal or professional development, whether it is just getting plugged in initially. This is the room to be in. And whether it's this room or the education rooms or the pre-event rooms, I mean, this is the place to be, and this is the why, right? That the fact, I mean, where else do you get to be around 5,500, 6,000 of your peers and colleagues, right? So it's, I don't know how else to explain just how important it is to be here, to be around vendors and peers and an association that legitimately cares about you.
I agree.
So Phoenix 2027, next FenceTech coming up. It's going to be a little bit different weather. Yeah. Hopefully a little bit warmer, a little bit different climate.
Watch, we're gonna jinx it though, and
no,
it's gonna be
we are not gonna.
It's gonna be a cold front come through.
No.
Listen.
It might be 70.
I was gonna say a cold front in Phoenix is a lot different than a cold front here. The other day when I walked across, it was 6 degrees out there.
Yeah.
The day it's 6 degrees in Phoenix, there's a lot worse things going on in the world.
Yeah.
So, guys, put it on your calendar. First week in March.
Yes. Yeah, March 1st through 5th.
Phoenix, Arizona. Guys, if you're a vendor watching, you'd better reach out pretty quick. Sales at AmericanFenceAssociation.com sounds right. Stay tuned for some more content. We found some content with those folks.
One more explanation on Phoenix.
Sir.
65th anniversary of the organization.
65th organization.
So it's going to be a homecoming of sorts. So it's come back to AFA. We're going to bring back generations. We're going to bring back, so think generations of a company.
Yeah.
Think all those early fence installation school instructors all coming back.
Oh yeah.
Think all those gate operators or operator installer school instructors coming back. So this idea of the 65th anniversary and us providing a long-term guidance and leadership in the industry, it's bringing that all back, and we're going to do it in Phoenix, and we're plus 6,000 here. And so I don't know what we're going to do in Phoenix, because when we bring our entire fence, sometimes you have a barbecue with your family.
Sure.
Sometimes you have a family reunion. We're shooting for a family reunion style event.
The reunions are always significantly larger.
That's right.
For sure. You know what? It'll also be a great zone. Speaking about homecoming, so we can't go throughout the whole interview without speaking about some hardware we have here on the table, guys. If you listen to my last live, I talked to you all about how big of a deal it is. The chapter of the year is the Pinnacle Award for the chapter level. This embodies like everything a chapter should be, right? That it is the pinnacle award. Second year in a row, Midwest chapter, of course, won it because they are the premier, chapter, regional chapter.
Being talked right now,
so I'm just waiting for him to chug whatever's in there. then he can say whatever he wants. But
listen,
until then,
the instructions were very clear when this was handed to me that nothing goes in it. I don't know why they felt the need. Anyway, so what a year! This big homecoming year to 3 years in a row. That just has a ring in my ears to it that, we're talking about homecoming. We're talking about, just family reunion. So guys, stay tuned for that. Everyone says they're coming for us, and I reminded them I heard that at mid-year meeting, but that's okay. That's okay. But no, it's 65th year, 2027, Phoenix, Arizona. Again, like, how do you do better? How do you get bigger? And it sounds like the groundwork has already been laid.
They've already started the groundwork.
Michael, I said it to you privately, and I'd like to say it to you publicly. You and your team have absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Thank you. They are spectacular.
They really are. We talked on the opening show about we were giving you some props for putting together a dream team, right? Whether it's Danielle or it's Nick or it's any one of the people that are behind the scenes that nobody sees puts hundreds of thousands of hours into these events. Yeah. That I think the proof's in the pudding when it just goes off without, from our perspective, without a hitch. Like, I'm sure there was a few hitches here and there, but it just looked easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be honest, it looked easy to me, and I think you're absolutely right. There are hitches that come up.
Sure.
And they just move around them. It's just beautiful.
Just smooth them out nice and gently. So it's been a great show, Michael. I hope you'll pass on to your team from us that they did a great job. And
I'm passing on to the three of you just, again, how grateful we are and how appreciative we are for our partnership.
Michael, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Guys, for now, Joe Everest,
Dan Wheeler,
Craig Eubanks.
And I'm Michael Reed.
reminding you that good fences make good neighbors, and we'll see you next year.